So you want to learn about Instagram stories. Specifically, you want to learn about what apps you might be missing out on, what hacks, what features you might not be using to optimize your business strategy when it comes to social media. Well, hello, I'm Vanessa, and one thing I'm really good at is helping people get visible using social media and get paid using business strategies. And here on my YouTube channel, I've posted videos about Instagram story features before. But guess what? It's a new year and I have more hacks up my sleeve. Now let's dive into the first tip that I have for you, and that is, have you ever considered creating your own GIF? Well, this is something that I've been doing for years. I create my own GIFs on Giphy and I embed them into my newsletters. But what I learned is you can actually take it a step further, create these GIFs, and then actually paste it as a sticker on your Instagram stories. So I'm gonna share my screen and walk you through how to do that. So when you're on Giphy.com, you wanna hit this create button. When you're in Create, you can upload any MP4 or movie file. In my case, I'm gonna upload a screen recording of one of my lead magnets. Once that's done, it's gonna load up a GIF, and as you can see, it's turned my MP4 file into a GIF. And then from here, you can adjust the duration as you like, if you'd like the GIF to run for longer or shorter. You can then click Continue to Decorate. And here you can add any text or anything you would like. In my case, I'm just gonna keep it blank, and then you're gonna hit Continue to Upload. Then Upload to Giphy. Once you've uploaded it to Giphy, you'll then have a GIF like this. And then from here, you could copy the link and have a direct link to this GIF that you can embed in any of your websites or anything like that. Or you could right-click and save image as, and in my case, I'm gonna save this image. And then once I've downloaded the image, I'm then going to share it via AirDrop on my iPhone so I can see it on my iPhone. Now that I have it on my iPhone, I'm gonna check out the GIF, and then I'm gonna hit Copy Photo. Then I'm gonna go to my Instagram account, share a story, and then from here, I could do something fun like pointing downwards. And then I can paste. And here is my GIF. And so that's a really great way, especially if you're trying to drive traffic to one of your lead magnets, to build your email list, or even if you wanted to create a fun GIF to turn into a cool sticker. Now, the second tip that I have for you is perfect if you are a creative entrepreneur, or maybe you're someone who just loves aesthetics, or someone who's a perfectionist and wants to make sure everything is on brand. This is something that my own social media manager taught me, and I was mind blown about how easy it was. How often do you find that there's not enough color selection in Instagram stories? Or even if you try to dial it in, you can't really find the perfect color for your brand? Well, the next tip I have for you is to simply create your own brand template, save it to your gallery, and then paste it into your story as a sticker every time so that you can use the color dropper and find the exact color that you want for your fonts, for your paintbrush strokes, or even for your backgrounds. Moving on to the next tip, and this one is about boomerangs. If you are an iPhone user, did you know that if you actually have a live photo and you upload it to your stories, if you just simply hold down that photo, it'll instantly turn into a boomerang. There's gonna be a lot of photos that you can add more dynamic to just by using this one hack. Now moving on to the next story feature or hack that I have for you that is really handy if you find that there's not enough options within Instagram alone in terms of stickers or GIFs or emojis you can use. Did you know that you can simply go on Google, find a transparent PNG, save that, and also paste it into your stories? It'll also show up as transparent. Mind blown. Now, if you want to take it a step further, because we literally just learned that you can turn a transparent PNG into a sticker that's also going to show up as transparent on stories, the next thing that you can consider doing is turning yourself into a transparent PNG. And you can do this easily on a platform like Canva. Simply upload your photo onto Canva, choose the background remover tool, and then wait for them to remove the background. Once the background is removed, simply just save it as a PNG. Then you save it to your album, and from your album you can copy and paste it into your IG story. This is going to be perfect, especially if you want to create content on the fly but have a photo of you inside in your Instagram story. Now on to the next hack that I have for you, and that is having a really nice overlay for your stories. How many of you use the paintbrush feature and you hold it down and it's not as transparent as you'd like? And by the way, just a hot tip for you, if you actually take your paintbrush and you put it on your stories and you hold it down, you're actually gonna be able to expand that into a background. And I've already talked about that in my previous videos, but I wanna make sure that you knew about that. Now, if you click this particular paintbrush and you hold it down, it's gonna be semi-transparent, but what I've found is that it's not transparent enough. It's still pretty opaque. And so what you can do is you can actually select this font on your stories, make sure you click this button right here so that it has the outline, and then you can actually expand that text so that it ends up becoming a full overlay. And this one, as you can see from my screen, is much more transparent than just using the hold down paintbrush feature. The next tip that I have for you is more of a settings thing that has been really helpful for me. If you're someone like me and you're on Instagram stories a lot and you always have the camera facing yourself, meaning that you do a lot of selfie type of content, well, did you know that if you actually open up your stories and then you hit the top left-hand corner with the dial icon, you're actually able to set that setting so that every time you open your Instagram stories, it's automatically already going to be on selfie mode. This has been game-changing for me. It is such a small little tweak, but I'm just so happy that whenever I open my Instagram stories, I don't have to flip the screen. It's been absolutely awesome. So make sure you do this, especially if you do a lot of selfie style videos. Now on to the next thing that I want to bring up that a lot of people kind of don't realize, and it's really surprising, so I want to make sure I include it in this video, and that is accessing your story analytics. What you can do is obviously when you swipe up on your story, you're able to see everyone who's seen your story. But did you know if you actually click on that little icon that's right next to the story views, that little bar icon, you're actually able to see way more data. And by accessing this data, you're then able to make more data-driven decisions on what to do for your Instagram story strategy. So for example, I have my phone up right here. The type of information that you can get from this is really awesome. Not only can you see how much reach that you've gotten from the story and the actions that people take, whether or not they swipe up or interact with your account, you can also see the amount of follows that that particular story contributed, and also the type of navigation that people are experiencing. So for instance, whether or not someone went back to your previous story, whether or not someone went forward, or if they swiped completely and went to the next person. These are things that you want to know about, or if they just exited stories completely. When you actually access your analytics, you're going to be able to tell what type of content might be working and what type of content might not be working, and it's just a good to know. So make sure that when you are swiping up to see who's watching your stories, that you also try to pay attention to the actual concrete data as well. Now, if you really like these tips, make sure you check out these two videos that I have here. I have a whole playlist when it comes to Instagram marketing strategy, as well as other social media strategy tips as well. As always, guys, I appreciate you, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. See you guys.